Good morning everybody and welcome back, or maybe welcome for the first time. If you are new here, I'm Taylor and I do vlog style videos on the daily life of a dairy farmer, a very small dairy farmer in Maine. So, getting right into it this morning, we just let the girls in. They're enjoying a hay bale. They actually have a hay bale on either side this morning because it is currently raining again. And it's supposed to rain all day, so we just figured why not leave them in, because we have to clean off the freestall and we also have to clean off the pad. And we don't want them out to pasture because they'll punch up the grass, and we just don't want it to be a big mess out there, and also it's not very safe for them. They could slip because a lot of our cows are very old here. So yeah, we're going to leave them in today, and they have plenty of feed. So yeah, they probably won't enjoy it, but it's safer for them, so that's what we're going to be focusing on. Today's going to be a little different of a vlog because I want to take the opportunity to explain more how this farm is operated and more about this farm, because a lot of you are asking a lot of questions about it, and I didn't expect so many people to watch the video about milking at night, so a lot of people watched it, and I thank you guys so much for that. Thank you for your support. You guys are awesome. I thank you for all your comments and just some of the sweet things that you guys said. You guys are great. So I just want to tell you guys more about this farm and explain some more things, because I haven't really done that, because I didn't really expect any of my videos to have that many views, so I didn't really explain anything. But so first of all, we farm in Maine. A lot of people were asking where we farm. We farm in Maine. So it's not exactly what you would consider like dairy country. I don't think anybody looks at Maine and says, oh yeah, that's a dairy place. It's not. There aren't very many farms. There's 3 farms in this town, and there's probably, I think there's only 200 farms left in the state, so that's not a lot, because Maine is very big. For a northern state, it's quite large. So yeah, we don't have a lot of farms anymore. There used to be a lot. There used to be, I think there was like 60 just in the town that we live in back in the 1950s, so it's really cut down a lot. But anyway, so yes, we farm in Maine. We only do about 200 acres of grassland because we do not feed corn silage anymore. We used to feed corn silage. Half of our land was corn and half of our land was hay. And about 6 years ago, we stopped doing corn silage altogether. A, because it was very expensive for a small farm, and B, because we were finding that the cows were having a lot of health problems. We had so many twisted stomachs, and it was not working out. So my boss decided to drop that, and we've been just feeding them silage and dry hay for the last 6 years, and it has worked like a charm. The last twisted stomach we had was exactly 5 years ago, while we were still feeding corn silage on the corn we had left over from our last year of actually doing corn. And as of then, we have not had any health problems. We have the vet maybe once every 2 or 3 months, maybe. Most of the time it's for preg checks. So the cow's health is like 100% better after dropping corn silage. Another really unconventional thing that we do is we no longer feed like commercialized pelletized grain. Instead, we feed cornmeal, which you can see in this bin, and you can see over here in this cart. We feed cornmeal and a high quality mineral in place of grain. We just thought there had to be a better and more cost efficient way to do it. So we dropped grain about 3 years ago, and it was very nerve-wracking. It was probably the most nerve-wracking thing we've ever had to do. Now that we've actually had people come over here, other farms, and watch us do it, and then they've switched over to not feeding grain anymore. So yeah, we don't feed grain anymore. The cows' health also improved when we stopped feeding grain. Problems with them cleaning after they've calved anymore. So those are 2 of the very unconventional things. I gotta shut off the cleaner's been running in here. So this is obviously the cleaner that runs out into the pump house and then runs over into the pit. This is also very old school. You don't really see many of these anymore. So I'll shut that off. It's very dirty, by the way. Sorry. It's kind of hard to keep a place where you just keep crap very clean. So this is the inside of our main barn. You can see it has feed alleys on either side, stalls on either side, and a walkway in the middle. And then your gutter, obviously. So yeah, This is where the cows get milked, and this is where they will stay for several months in the winter because it's too cold for them to go outside. Some of the months in the winter they can go out to the free stall, which is right there, but we'll get to that in a minute. So this is the main barn. Cows get milked and fed and stay in here. You can tie up 72 cows. Which is why I say that we have 70 cows in every video. Somebody said, like, why do you always say like 70 exactly? It's just because we have a 72 tie stall barn, and we always have a little more or a little less than that, so it's just right around 70. It's a ballpark estimation, so that's that. Yes, it has a hayloft up above, so yeah, it's a very big barn. I love the shape of it. It's just gorgeous barn. It was built in the 60s to replace a barn that burned. I think it was a little bit smaller than this one, but pretty much the same, I guess. This is a cute little pump house that pumps the crap from the gutter. The gutter runs into this little building, and it has a hool pump, and it pumps it over underground into that manure pit over there. And this freestall barn has an open end that you can just push the crap out. You can see the crap right there. We've pushed so much out that we can't push any more out, so we have to clean it out today by using the Kubota and the skid steer. Brent's going to push the crap into my bucket, and I'm going to carry it and dump it over the edge of the pit. And also we have to clean off the pad today because it is very rainy, and the cows have been just like hanging out on the pad in the freestall because I guess they don't like rain. So the freestall barn is about 90 feet, I'm pretty sure. I've showed the inside of that many times, so you guys have seen that. I'm not sure really how many stalls it has, but it has enough stalls for all of our cows to be in there and take a stall. That was built in the 70s, I believe, I think. So everything around here is pretty old and pretty dated. Somebody said that I call it like old school farming, and it kind of is because, I mean, we don't have robots, we don't milk in a parlor, all very unconventional things. And I just kind of wanted to show you guys how it's been working for us. So another thing that we don't do is we no longer raise our own replacement heifers. This stopped a long time ago before I started working here. My boss just kind of decided that he really was spending too much money raising calves and putting too much feed into raising calves. Because in Maine, it's very hard to get enough feed. Even if you do corn, it's very hard to get enough feed for cows because our growing season is so short. And it's just kind of scarce for feed in Maine. So he started just buying cows from other people because we only need like 3 or 4 a year, so it really wasn't a big deal, and we've been doing that ever since. But now, instead of milking Holsteins, which is strictly what this farm used to milk, we now milk crossbreed cows. And that's not to say that we don't have any full-blooded cows, because we do. We have full-blooded Jerseys, we have full-blooded Guernseys, we have full-blooded Holsteins, some full-blooded Ashers, but we just have a mix of everything, and the vast majority of our cows are crosses. And the big reason for that is they're just hardier. They do better not having corn silage. A Holstein really has to be pushed in order to do really, really well. So we switched over to crosses just to kind of get that hardiness and also get better components like more butter fat and more protein. So that's a big reason that we switched over to crosses. And I know a lot of people think it's strange that we don't raise our own replacement cows, but if we do buy a cow from someone else and it happens to already be bred with a dairy bull, we will raise that dairy calf. So that's not to say that we don't raise dairy cows at all. We raise 1 or 2, maybe every 3 or 4 years. So we do raise a few cows, but it's really just more for having a few extra cows that you know were raised really well than to actually raise a whole bunch of replacement cows. We also pasture our cows. I don't know if I mentioned that. They have the option to go outside or be inside. So yeah, those are some of the unconventional things that we do. The reason we started doing all this was just because Brent realized that the dairy world was changing, and it was kind of leaving small farmers behind, and we just needed to do things differently in order to stay alive in this changing dairy world. Most people have parlors now, and it's more focused on quantity of milk rather than quality of milk and quality of life for a cow. Another thing is, I don't have to raise a lot of replacement heifers because our average cow's age is from anywhere from 15 to 17. And if you look up the average life of a commercial dairy cow in a parlor, it's 6 years, I believe. And the average natural lifespan of a cow is from 15 to 20 years. So our cows are living as close to a natural life while still being milked commercially as they possibly can. So That's another reason that we don't really need a whole lot of replacement heifers. We just need a few every once in a while because some of our old cows, I mean, they're old. They obviously don't make it forever, so that's why we have to buy a few every year. So yeah. So as far as who works here, it is just me and Brent. Brent is the boss and I am the employee, in case you're confused about that. And we do all the milking 7 days a week, 2 times a day. He does have a relative that fills in every once in a while if one of us does happen to need a day off or has an emergency or something. So yeah, but other than that, it's just us. We do all the field work as well. So yeah. It's a little crazy, but it's what I love, and I just am so glad you guys enjoy watching these videos. I'm sorry for the very pieced together video. Should stop turning over there, the lighting's really bad. But it's been very hard to film lately because we've been spreading manure and it's just been really busy, and so I apologize for this video, but thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for all your support, and I just hope to see you guys in the next video. Don't forget to like and subscribe and comment down below and hit that notification bell so you know when any new videos are being posted. Bye guys!